Hello, hello, everybody. If you can let me know if you can hear me and see me. Hi. All right. Was not letting me go live. Oh, technology. Gotta love it, right? All right, so we're talking about Distress watercolor pencils today. I stayed up way too late last night swatching mine out. I'm really glad that I did, but I wanted to show you all, and I'll show on the other camera as well. I just love it. Isn't it pretty? It's the Distress Rainbow. All right, I'm not going to talk too long about my upcoming class because I will have a video coming tomorrow, but I gotta grab my notes. I have a upcoming class on February 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It is a live class and it is going to be exploring the possibilities of your Distress watercolor pencils. We're going to be learning techniques, and this class is designated for learning techniques and for like creative play. We're not going to be completing full projects. Unless I come up with something, who knows, you never know, it's live. But those of you that don't like the lives, I will have structured classes in the classroom as well. All of the content that I will be sharing live, you will have individual videos for you for that. So I've listened to some feedback, and I do agree that for some watching after the fact, it can be, some people don't like, the relaxed feel of the live classes. So I get that. The class date is February 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And again, it is going to be a live class, but all of the material, you will have individual classes on there as well. So they're going to be short little videos on the classroom. So, let me see. Oh, there's going to be an after class Zoom as usual. Also, I am working on a all new color combo guide using the new Distress watercolor pencils. So you will get that before everybody else will see that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts, like what works, what doesn't work. Maybe the differences between, say using Distress inks for watercoloring versus the watercolor pencils, because I think it's very important when trying to figure out what to use and why this versus that kind of thing. Also, how we can incorporate them with our other mediums. I'll show a little bit about that today. And the importance of swatching, how to make a watercolor palette, and so much more. Again, I'm going to have a video coming tomorrow with a little bit more information, but if you want to sign up today, you can do that, and pop the link right here for you. And that is it. All right. Dana is asking, is a class on YouTube or Zoom? So the live class is going to be on YouTube. And then after that, a couple days later, I will upload it to the classroom for everybody that wants to watch the replay. So the class is not going to be on Zoom, but there will be, again, structured, pre-recorded videos for you in the classroom, if that's what you want. So I'm trying to cater to both worlds here. Hopefully it works out. I don't know. We'll see. But so who has the pencils? I see Erica. Hello. She's got all 6. Yes. Don't know how to store them because of scorched timber. Yep. Sets 1, 2, and 3. Oh, Jennifer, yep, we talked about that. Nice to see ya. Hello, Kim. She's got 1, 2, and 3. Yep. All right, I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and we're going to get started. If I can figure this out. I'm not going to show my face the whole time this time because, as you could see, it's rough. It's been a rough morning. I stayed up way too late last night. What am I trying to do here? I think I have to... Oh no, settings. Sorry, my brain isn't braining today. There we go. All right. I'm going to move my microphone. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. Hopefully. There we go. All right, I have my chat here. All right, so this is what I did last night. I swatched out all of the colors, which I find really, really important because so in my monthly Zoom the other day, I swatched out some Distress inks and some Distress crayons, and you can kind of see, we'll just use the Distress crayons for an example. Kitsch Flamingo in the crayon is a lot more pigmented than the watercolor pencil. I found that a lot of the watercolor pencils are a little bit more muted. So like Faded Jeans is kind of the same. So this one here. And Walnut Stain, same thing. And you can build up on these. Where can we get that swatch template? It's free over on Ranger. You have to like go down, and it's like all the way down at the bottom. It's kind of hard to find, but if you can't find it, I'll send you a link. But yeah, it's great to have, and they have these for everything. And I will go over in the class as well, like the importance of swatching, what I use, my paper, and all of that kind of thing. All right, so my desk is a mess, but it's an organized mess because I have so much I want to share with you, but I'm not sharing everything because I gotta keep some things for the class. So the first thing I want to do is show you how creamy they are, because I really like how they work. Now I lost there it is. All right, so a little tip, I like to have a baby wipe right here. It's from my Misty. That way, see, I don't know what I was doing there. I can wipe this off. Okay, so this paper is the Distress Watercolor paper. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you my favorite way to use these. So you take a watercolor brush, or you can use a regular paintbrush with some water. And I like to squeeze a little bit of the water, maybe get like a little droplet on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then let it kind of pool up on that color. And then you can just directly take that pigment and then put it onto the paper here. And now this is dry. I haven't prepped it or anything. And we're just going to pull it out like this, just like that. I did notice somebody asked, how are these different than other watercolor pencils? Julie, I don't really have a lot of I haven't played around with a lot of other watercolor pencils, so I can't say specifically like this brand is different because of this. But I will say, for me personally, I really like the Distress watercolor pencils. I know people that have artist grade watercolor pencils. Unless you're a full set syndrome person and you have to have the full set of Distress everything, I don't see the need to buy these, to be honest. And yeah, so I hope that helps a little bit. So if you have a set, I don't think running and buying, new ones is necessary, to be honest. All right, I need to situate myself a little bit better. Okay, so another favorite thing of mine is if you're scared of splatters but you like the look, this is a great way to be able to get those splatters. So we're gonna, again, get some water on that the pencil. And then we're just going to splat, splat, splat. Just like that. Okay, Sharon saying these pencils are pure pigment. Regular watercolor pencils, the pigment is encased in wood. Yes, that is true. That is, so you could see that this is just paper. So, well, of course I can't take it off. But you can pull this off and sharpen it. And instead of, like Sharon saying that a lot of watercolor pencils have wood around them. So you can take these and create, with the shavings, you can create a full watercolor palette with them. I've seen lots of people do that. April, we splatter with everything. All right, so. And then this is just whatever's left on my brush here. And you can really get a lot from these. A little bit goes a long way. Kim, same. I love the colors of the Distress line. So that's why I buy them too. All right, where'd my notes go? Okay, I talked about the swatches. Oh, and I had different watercolor pencils because I was going to explain that just a little bit as well. So we are going to take some backgrounds. Okay, so if you were in my Distress Watercolor, no, sorry, too many Distress things. My Distress Spray class, you may have some backgrounds left over. So I created this one actually on this tag, and we are actually going to take, let me put this back so I don't, we are going to take some stamps, color on the stamps, and then stamp it onto this background. Terry's asking, when you swatch, do you color directly to the paper and then add water or apply water? So I have this watercolor brush. Let me bring this back in. So what I did was I added some water onto the pencil. And then because this already has water in it, I can just squeeze out as much water as I need. So like here, if I just want a quick wash of color down on my paper, I can do that. Or I can add more pigment like this. And I'm not trying to blow smoke. You can do a lot of these techniques with many different Distress products. It's just something different, right? So you know that you can always, well, I hope that you know that you can always count on me to tell it like it is. There's nothing, I mean, if you like using pencils and watercoloring and things like that, then these are definitely something that you may want in your arsenal of tools. All right, but you definitely can do this with, the even inks, sprays, other things too. So we're gonna take Villainous Potion. I'm gonna try to remember to say the names of the colors. So Villainous Potion, Picked Raspberry, and Seedless Preserves. I don't remember 100% what I used on here. I'm trying to use them, but I can't make them work. Hope. Maybe you can explain something that you're coming across here, but I will recommend maybe going to my Distress Watercolor pencil class, because that's definitely somewhere where we can talk through different things that you're going through. Jen Cherkis has a Distress Watercolor that I enjoyed and learned a lot on how to use it. Awesome. All right, so we are going to take some stamps. That's okay, Tiffany. Some people may like Jen Cherkis's style of teaching. That's definitely okay. She's a great one to learn from as well. So no worries here. All right. So we are going to spritz this with a little bit of water, and then we're just going to color directly onto the stamp. No real rhyme or reason. All right, I'm gonna actually spritz this. This one is Villainous Potion. This is one of my favorite ways to use the pencils, is just coloring directly, because you can kind of get a really fun like mix of colors going on. I'm gonna actually pick up some of this, and then we're gonna use some picked raspberry. Hope, you may be using the wrong paper. You may need to try out some other paper, but it seems like maybe you're pressing too hard. So let me finish this and then we'll get to that. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stamp this just like this. Oh, I forgot to spritz with a little bit more water there. Add that there. So this background is using some oxides as well as some Distress spray stains. I'm going to just stamp directly on here. Have this baggage clean. There we go. All right, so I'll use black for it. Well, you know what? I have some mixed media paper right here. Have you tried? I have. It works, but the lines are a little bit too thin, and it does work though. I like using it more for like the bottle brush tree stamps from Tim Holtz, like more like bigger images that have a little bit more space to color on are a lot more fun to use. That's why I use this number, because there was a lot of space. All right, so what I would suggest you do, Hope, is lightly color. I've never used this mixed media paper a day in my life. This is from scrapbook.com, so I have no idea if it's going to work with these. But it was here, and she said that she used mixed media paper, so we're going to just give it a try. So this is very light on here, and then we're going to take some water, and then, okay, see, even with a light pass, it's still, I see what you're saying. All right, let me see on watercolor paper. I've never used them this way, so I can't say. So watercolor paper, I think, is going to be your go-to. Yeah. Tiffany, I'm actually working on a video, mainly what paper to use with distress spray stains, because there was a lot of talk about that in my last class. And Mary Polanco suggested this. I love Mary. She actually has a new class coming up using stencils. So if you want some insight on using stencils, some more tips and tricks and techniques, and Mary's just so fun. She's amazing. I'm sure you can find her YouTube channel and check out her new class. I think it's this coming up week. No, not this weekend. I think the next weekend. But I am working on that. I haven't tried it. This is my first time. But yes, who asked that? Hope. So I would suggest getting some watercolor paper. How about using these on Ranger's tags? Yes. Let me see. Did I have a tag? I did not have a tag. All right, let's see if they color directly on nicely. You will, Mary Polanco, P-A-L-O-N-C-O, no, P-O-L-A-N-C-O. Oh, yes, that's nice. That's very nice as well. Yes, thank you. So this is the Tim Holtz mixed media tags. This works as well. All right. All right. I think I'm actually gonna add some black to this. Stamp here. And then here we go. There's a lot of water on that, so it's very... the good thing about the watercolor pencils too is that I don't have my watercolor combo guide. Hope paper is very, very funny because I don't know the full science behind paper, but even if a paper feels the same or has like the same name, it's not going to react the same with every single medium. So every different paper is produced differently. It could be hot pressed, cold pressed, different fibers. Like it's just paper. If I could switch to my face camera and show you my sincereness in what I'm saying, paper and your substrate you're working on is sometimes the most important thing when working with different mediums, depending on what you're doing with that medium. So I know it's hard because like I personally thought, Nina 110 Solar White cardstock would work with distress sprays. It does not, because it feels the same as like a mixed media paper or something, but it doesn't. And even the new Ranger, or I'm sorry, not the new Ranger, the white distress heavy stock from Ranger, they changed it. So it doesn't work with distress sprays anymore. So use the distress mixed media paper, which is this like tannish color. So yeah, paper's funny. And we learned too that in the distress class that cheap cardstock from Walmart works better than some of the more expensive paper. So you just kind of have to play and figure things out sometimes, because there are a million different papers. Are Tim's tags and Diane's tags the same paper? No, they are not. Diane's tag, I believe, are white, correct? These are like a tannish color. Now, if they're made from the same material, I have no idea. I've used Diane's tags in the past. I really like them, but I do prefer working on Tim's tags a little bit more. Yes, cheap cardstock. I'll have to remember the brand. But I got some water splotches and stuff. It curled up obviously, but you just kind of have to play. If you don't know and you have it right in front of you, if you're like, oh, does this work? I would just try it, honestly, because if you have the supplies and you're wondering if something is going to work or how it's going to work, I would just sit and play with it. All right, so we did stamping. Now we're going to, I have a tag here. Oh, I did want to show you guys something really, really cool, actually. So I'm sure some of us have distress paint. Okay, I have a ton of it. It's one of those mediums that I do not use all the time. But I am going to be trying to use what I have. This is a gel printed background on cheap cardstock with some distress paint. The cool thing about these pencils are it is just paper, but all paper is not created the same. All right. Oh, this is definitely, well, I guess we'll see how it works. Okay. No, I have to clean this a little bit. I'm still learning. I learn things. I think if you have the mindset that you know everything, then I don't know. I always am very open to what other people do and different techniques and things. Because I think everybody can learn from everybody. All right. So I'm going to spritz this with a little bit of water. Then we're going to go in with some what was I trying to say there? Twisted citron. And we're just going to color this on. You probably can't see because my pencils or my stamps are very well loved and I don't clean them. So Dana, you can sign up for the class in the description box, or if you possibly can scroll up a little bit, there should be a link there as well. All right. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the crushed olive. And then I'm going to go back up into this twisted citron. Just kind of mix those colors a little bit. And then we're going to go in with some peacock feathers. I think those are the colors that I used. Well, I didn't use the crushed olive, but the twisted citron I did. I should have grabbed a water, like a little container of water or something to color with these. All right, then I'm going to go back up into this crushed olive just a tad. There we go. Why is it playing an ad? Anyways, all right. We're going to stamp. I should have grabbed my thing, but I might need to buy a new set of pencils because Uncharted Mariner is one of my... You need Uncharted Mariner. It is so pretty in the pencil. I do wish that they were standalone too, because then people can kind of get what they want instead of having to buy the full sets, because they are pretty pricey. All right, that was, you know, here I am playing, trying to show you all, but my stamp was way too dirty for that. And I should have had my stamp thing. The point of it is you can use the the crayons on top of the paint. So let's see here. So you can use, like if you stamp out an image like I'm going to show you next, like this one. So this is a background. I want to say it's Uncharted Mariner, Antique Linen, Black Soot, Weathered Wood. We are going to take some, maybe I should have done that, stamp it and then color over top. All right, scratch that idea for now. We're going to, and make a mental note to clean my stamps before the class. We're going to color this, and I'm just going to use kind of the same colors. And these I grabbed just from my big bin of backgrounds that I have. I know many of you express the same thing, that we create these backgrounds and then what to do with them. Sometimes it's good just to create a bunch of backgrounds and then have them for later, you know? Because sometimes, for me, sometimes creating the backgrounds is the most fun. All right, going to add, well, the only thing about, did I leave it in there? I did not leave the stamp in there, and I meant to, is when you add, when you're coloring with them over top of the image, you're going to want to stamp out the image again over top, or else you're going to lose some of that. Here we go. And what I do is I just kind of add a little bit of color here and there, and then blend it out. Just like this. And there are so many other techniques that we will be going over, using stencils, just all sorts of different things in the class. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll definitely be using some of our backgrounds if you have backgrounds. Honey, I did not do this background in this live. This was previously made. But I'm just showing that you can use these with your other Distress line of products. So this was made with some Distress spray stains and oxides, and then now I'm just using the pencils to color an image over top. Okay, and I won't sit here all day trying to color this image. Well, it's only been 40 minutes. That's not bad. So, does anybody have them and don't don't use them. I can't see the poll that I put up, unfortunately, on my iPad. Or do some people not even know about them yet? Because that's possible too. Or like, what's your thoughts on them? There we go. All right, and then of course, the first 3 sets, but I have not used them. Yeah, unfortunately, because there wasn't many people that caught my live on Instagram last night. I don't really go live on Instagram, but I was telling them that unfortunately, the Distress crayons, also the glazes, and then the pencils are always on the back burner because I love my stains and my sprays so much that they are my go-to. So it's not that I don't love using the pencils and all the other mediums. It's just I'm a creature of habit, so I just kind of go with what what I like. So we're gonna add some splatters to this. Add a little bit more water there. So if you missed the beginning, we just add a little bit of water onto the crayon, or you can dip it in some water, which would have been a little bit faster. Then we're just gonna splat, splat, splat. And this gives a little more fine, like tinier splatters as well, versus the, like using the Dina Wakley gloss spray. Yes, you can use them to color the ephemera, all kinds of different things. Okay, come on. There we go. Because these are both water-based, it might seep in and just create a lighter color of what's underneath. But sometimes that might be the look you're going for. That's why I like to use a Dina Wakley gloss spray, because it's acrylic, so it kind of just sits on top. Oh, the Neo color. Yeah, you probably don't need these unless you're obsessed with the Distress line. And if my memory serves me correctly, I don't think that those are very cheap either. So I'll have to go back and finish coloring that, but yeah. We need to be collectors as well as users of our supplies. That's what I tell myself anyways. I think I need a different water brush because this water is not coming out unless I clogged it. Erica just printed template. So excited to find out what colors I'll need to go. Yes, that was my problem with the crayons. Even though I don't even remember last time I used them. When I swatched them out, I'm like, I'm missing so many good colors. But I've held myself from buying, so, which is good. Oh, maybe, huh? That could be true. And I always forget this one's backwards. There we go. I think that was it because it's like pooling out now. Thank you. See, sometimes good to have, let me see how many, 63 brains better than one. Like open it up because it could have a lot of pressure in there. But anyways, so that is that. Any questions? That's pretty much it, what I got for today. It was just kind of playing around with the new ones, and I do have a free PDF download using the first 3 sets with the color. Sorry, let me back up. I have a free PDF download with 9, I believe 9 color combinations using the first 3 sets. And that is absolutely free, and the link is in the description box. I actually really like where this is going. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll see. I think I might add some depth with the black, and yeah. I missed it, but what did you say was the paper you printed the swatch charts on? It is just cheap cardstock. A little bit heavier than printer paper, but not as thick as like the Distress mixed media paper. Because you're not adding a ton of water when you're swatching it out, it's not going to matter too much. You just need a little bit thicker paper. I mean, it kind of curled up a little bit, but oh, that's not even what I used. Yeah, so this is the swatch for the watercolor pencils. And what I'm going to do with mine is I'm actually going to store them and organize them in Distress rainbow order. So I'm not going to store them as the tin says, like on the back, how the tin has the colors on them for each set. I'm actually going to store them this way. That's how my brain works. That's how I create. That's all of my Distress products are that way. So that's how I am going to store them. But anyways, I am going to pop the link to the class in the chat one more time. I really hope that you all can come. If not, no worries. I know there's a lot going on. A lot of things happening. New summits coming up, which is exciting. So next week I will be sharing more information on that as well. Erica, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out my picket fence, because technically Tim says that picket fence isn't even a Distress color. So I'm going to take out picket fence. That's the one that's going to be probably in my turning thing here, because I really like the splatters that it gives. So I will probably be using this more often than I realize. And then that's where Scorched Timber will kind of fit in. Yay, Tiffany! I'm excited. This is going to be a fun class, because I think that building like all these techniques with the different mediums, and then hopefully, you know, in a few months we can do a class using all of the different mediums and doing full projects and things like that. I just bought furniture for my first craft room. Congratulations, Joanne. That's so exciting. Organizing is fun, especially when you have a new craft room. And again, this class is going to be different, because the last couple classes that I've had is just basically been the live class, and then you get the live replay. This one is going to have pre-recorded technique classes on it as well. So kind of seeing how that plays out with some people that can't make the live class or don't like the live class, but want to learn more about a certain medium. So we're going to see how that works. And then that way there isn't a lot of pressure to show up for the live class. Yes, we will still have the live Zoom after. Yep. And yes, the class will be saved. You'll have access to it all. And I'm working on, I need a couple more color combinations with my new Distress Watercolor combo guide. And you will all get that first, just like my new Distress Spray color combo guide. But then that would be lonely. That's true. No, yeah, Erica, you're right. Please come to the live class if you're signing up for the live class. Yeah, I think the live class is really great for those that like a more relaxed class. You can ask questions. I did take a lot of feedback into consideration when doing my next live class. So some of the things where I have like those squirrel moments, I'm really going to like tone those back and then keep the questions for after maybe my whole spiel, my whole class, like the presentation part of the class. Or if I have like a little break or something like that. So anyways, I could chat with you all day. I think I'm gonna, yay, so many people signing up. I'm so excited. I love connecting, and I love that we can all connect with each other as well. And somebody mentioned in my crafty Zoom sessions, like my monthly ones, it would be fun to have like a list of people that are in the Zooms, if like share their socials, so like we can all connect and support each other and things like that. If the people are your cup of tea, because sometimes, you know, following a million people just to follow isn't always good either. But yeah, anyways, I'm all for community, building a community with everybody. So yes, community is everything because we can all learn from everybody. All right, I think unless anybody has any questions, I will get going. I need to eat some lunch and do the dishes. Dishes are never ending, and laundry, right? All right. And if something comes up and you have a question later on, you can always reach out to me on social media or email me at tiffany@tiffanysolorio.com. All right. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye. Thank you all for signing up. Those of you that had signed up for the class. I cannot wait. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll probably see most of you maybe in Tim's live tomorrow because he's actually doing a live with Distress Pencils tomorrow. So, all right. I'll see you all later. Bye.